Hello, this is Greg. We'll have another multimeter. It is, give me a second, I'm working with a single screen today. So I want to go desktop. Here we go. It is the T58C from NJTY, and it has an inductance meter. And this one today is the T58C. You can buy it through TeamU for $32. Don't pay attention to this 23. I have a credit, so they automatically apply it. So it's $32.21, and it has free shipping. If you're in the US, these guys seem to be faster. If you're in Europe, it's on eBay for, or not eBay, I apologize, AliExpress for, I think I saw it for $29. So a couple of different places you can get it. This is the spec sheet right here. And so I want to see if I can make this bigger. And this is what all it's supposed to do. On the hertz rating, where's that at? Frequencies from 10 megahertz or 10 hertz to 10 megahertz. But anyway, the inductance measurement is what I'm interested in. 10 micro henries to 100 henries, 4% plus 5. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. So let's go back to here. All right. Now, first of all, the manual has helpful information in it, but it's all in Chinese or Mandarin. Whatever language it is, it's not English. So, but it still has spec sheets and stuff that will, that has information helpful. Some of this can still be helpful. So we'll set that down. First thing you'll need to do, and it came, these are the probes. It came nicely packaged. The probes are PVC. I've had to polish the tips to get them to make good contact. To put the batteries in, pull the back off. And these are rechargeable batteries. And I've already been messing with this, so I know it works. I'm getting better and better at these little multimeters. Ooh, yeah, we got it. Each time I do one of these reviews. So the first thing we want to check is my headgear. There we go. So first one is millivolts. It flashes, tells me where my probes go. Red, and then ground is black. Shove your probes in. We're going to go right straight to just volts, and we have volts DC, little 9-volt battery sitting here. Stick it on there, 9.2 volts. Okay, works good. We have a plug-in right here, and we will go to function, switch it over to AC, and slip our probes in. It immediately goes red, goes to 60 hertz, 122, bouncing back and forth. It's probably the 50% duty cycle. So that's good. Both of those work nicely. Let's go right to the non-contact voltage since we're sitting here. And, oops, where are we at? About right there. Got to get pretty close. So that's how that works. And one thing I do want to take note, this switch, it doesn't, it's very positive. It moves around very nicely. No wiggle. For these dial types, that's good. Usually you don't see that until you get into 100 or so meter. So anyway, let's move right on to ohms. I have my little test board here. When you turn it on, the backlight comes on automatically. You can push the button and it'll turn off. Just on, and that's kind of bright. But if you hold it down, it turns on the flashlight, but it gives you kind of a little dimmer, if it gets really dark, it gets brighter. So, and then hold it down. But I don't like that the flashlight comes on. Oop. There we go. So we'll leave it like that for this. All right. This is a 0.1 ohm. And it goes to 0, which is expected. Most of my multimeters, until I get into the 20,000 count, won't read that one. And then we will go to the 100 ohm, and it is straight at 100. Yeah, you can see those numbers nicely. This one here is a 1K and 0.987. 10K, 9.9. 1 milliohm, mega ohm. And yeah, look at that. Pretty good. Now let's go to the diode mode. To switch in between, you just function key. And, continuity. Now this is after I polished them with a polishing wheel. So in fact, right here, one of these little guys right here, just a little polishing wheel. Can probably do the same thing with some like some 600 grit sandpaper. Just slowly, don't get too aggressive, but works good. And diode mode. First one is a Schottky diode, and that's good. Second one is a Zener. Where am I at? Oh, I missed the Zener. I'm on the... I might have to... There we go. Zener diode, 733. And then a standard, I think they call them rectifier diode. Perfect. And then we've got some LEDs. Can we see those lighting up? Boy, that's really bright right there, isn't it? Let's turn this down a little bit. There we go. And yeah, there we go. And that's 2.596 volts, the yellow one. I could not find my red and green boxes, so when I do, I'll put these together. So yeah, that works good. And then the next up is capacitance. This is a 221 is what it says on it. Oh my God, look at that, 220, not 219. That's very close. This one is a I think it's a 471, kind of a different type of number. It says 461. This one is 155. 155. Oh, I'm reading them good. This is a 10 UF. 10 UF. This is a 100 UF. 94. Almost 95. And this is a 1000. 987. 974. That's probably within the tolerances. This one says 600 UF, but it always reads about 770, maybe 8. Oh, look at that, 770, 760. Well, okay, a little lower on this one. And then this one is a 4700 UF. Still see those numbers good? You can. And it's for 4700 UF, it took a little bit of time, but that's relatively fast. And it reads 4211. So that's how it responds to that. Now, hertz. I have to set something up for this. I got to pause. Back in a sec. Okay, I have my Little frequency. This is the Hertz frequency meter. And this side is the Hertz. And I'm going to just take it up until it starts reading. It takes a little bit. Sorry about that. But it should start at around 10, I think is what it said. And nothing yet. Let's stop a second. No? Okay. The Zoe started reading this right away. Oh, now we... Oh, okay, well, it started reading at 150. Okay, there's 150. Let's see. Do I have anything touching? No? Oh, it goes all funky. Still jumping around there at the end, isn't it? Looks like at about 100, it starts stabilizing. So maybe I read that wrong. Anyway, that's what it does, and then we can take it back up all the way to the top, and it reads 149. That's as high as this little thing goes. So next, I'm going to do try and see how the inductance works. I've got to change my setup. Okay, how are we looking on our view here? Too bad. Okay, now I have some inductors here. This one says 100 UH. So let's watch our lights here and turn over here. So with inductance, we need to change our probe right to here. And then automatic. This is supposed to be 100. It reads 114. I would find that very acceptable from the other things that I have. This one says 10. Let's see what it says. It says 107, 106. Well, those are different markings. Well, okay. That's what it's doing. Just let's keep going. A 1 UH. Now it won't go that low. So, how about a 4.7? It says 52. Okay. How about a 6.8? It says 94. Let's find something. Here's a 470. Something a little bigger. Ooh, look at that, 446. And I don't know how accurate these inductors themselves are. Here's a 330, last one. Let's try one more. 380. So, for my purposes, this actually, it shows me a wide range of inductances. My little Zoe, which I really liked, you got to really watch ranges. I got to learn about ranges. So, set that aside. Okay, I'm going to set up, what's next is the amps. So we're going to do an amp test. I got to set up for that. Okay, now I'm going from inductance to amps. I have an LED lit up through a little power supply. It's just off camera, but it's not important. And it's putting 3.1 volts into this. Now, once I switch to, I'm going to go to amps first. And then I have a flashing light down here. So I'll move my red probe to here. If once you're aware of this, it actually makes it quite nice. Just got to look at the meter when you're switching stuff around. So now that I have it in amps and my probes are set up correctly, what I want to do is just break the hotline. and hook one probe up to this line. You know, just I'm breaking the line and I'm plugging the probe in the middle. The light comes back on and it's drawing 0.018 of an amp. So I think I'm confident to move this up to milliamps and 0.9. Oh, no, milliamps. I need to change my probe. So let's go back to amps, unhook that, and move my probe up, go back up to milliamps, and then plug it back in. 17, 18, 0.26, 0.31, and it says milliamps right there. So that works. Let's go ahead and pull this out, turn that off. What's next? We already did the, we're down to the last one, the temperature. This is the temperature gauge that it comes with. And I've found these are, I have the long one. I think I put it away. I have the long, you know, it's more of a fancy one, but I think that's more for sticking into stuff. This is good for like attaching to a board if you want to know how hot it's getting when you're removing stuff. So now I have two of these, maybe three. So I'll shove this into here, black, go to, and it does have Fahrenheit and Celsius, and these agree. There we go. And let's go to function, and it is 63 degrees in here. Let's grab the tip. Fairly responsive, jumped up quick, drop back down. Let's try a little more. Let's hit it with a torch and see what happens. Oh yeah, okay. Was that 1200 degrees? Did that go up to 1200 degrees? Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, it did. Okay. What's that look like in Celsius? 7. Okay. So that, very nice. Let's pull this out. And yeah, this is a good meter. I'm going to pause a second and clean up. Okay. Came with this box. Came a little crushed in the mail, but that's not their fault. And with a little carrying case. The probes are adequate, but I'll probably replace them with a set of these. These were just a lot sharper. They have easier to dig into the, you know, if there's any flux or coatings or anything, the sharper ones tend to dig into them better. But just for this review, I wanted to test it with everything it came with. Now, the unit itself, like I said, I really like how easy this goes. And if you noticed on the diode test, it did not beep. The back support is on the multimeter itself. I do like that versus, because if once you take the cover off, like on my Zoe, if I take the cover off, I have no back. Then I have to put it into something else. This cover comes off, so I'm going to do it real quick. It is not easy, but it does come off. Come on. I've done it once before, and it fought me the whole way, so I would not worry about dropping this and breaking it. At least, you know, just like from a tabletop. So this is very pliable. Has a little hook for hanging. And then the multimeter itself doesn't look half bad outside of it. But you can still, and it's a nice stable, it sits there pretty good. So, and this is what I like the best, is that with one hand, I can just reach up and Turn the damn thing. I can't do that. Look, the Zoe. I'm not dogging Zoe. I love this little multimeter. I'm not getting rid of it. But with this one, you really got to hang on to it. You can't just, it's hard to just flick it. It does do it, but this is just really, I like that. It's very, very, just a thought or a observation. The one thing, and then I talked about the flashlight. Yeah, we got everything. So, yeah, this is going to be I am hoping that this is going to be my go-to multimeter all the time because it has the inductance. Whenever I'm doing my kits, wintertime's coming, so I'm going to be putting stuff together and doing eBay sales videos. And I'm hoping that between this one and my Furnersi circuit tester, the TC4, I believe it is. I'm hoping that I'll just have to have these two on my table and I won't have to have a big old array of things. The only thing that it didn't do was the hertz. When I test the same unit with other meters, it has a lot wider range on this than this one does. So just being aware of that, and I don't use the hertz for testing components to put into a kit anyway. So that might mean something to you. But for me, it's not a deal breaker in any manner. So I hope this helps someone make a decision one way or another. There are 8 other videos on this multimeter. This will be number 9. And I urge you, if you have one and you like it as much as I like mine, make a video. The more of them there are, the more of these little induction testers there will be on multimeters. They're in everything. I don't know why it's not a common thing now. Anyway, like I said before, hope this helps you make a decision one way or another. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.